Hey man, quick recap. Black Horseman here. Junto Nakatani, I think we're still in Christmas spirit because I think he may have got a gift. I honestly felt like Junto Nakatani in his, I believe his first fight outside of his country, well, I believe he's from Japan. Correct me if I'm wrong, playback. But he fought in Saudi Arabia against this guy, Sebastian Reyes, and it was a tough match for Junto. And before I elaborate further on the fight, I want to kind of flame a little bit Riyadh season. Well, not really Riyadh season, but just whoever keeps doing the matchmaking in the sense of having another fight lined up before the assignment is completed in front of you. They're pushing this Nakatani versus Naoya Inoue, one of the top pound for pound fighters in the sport. And he had a tough matchup versus this hungry Mexican Sebastian Reyes, where it didn't seem like he fully prepared for what he had in front of him. And he was getting punished. He looked horrible on the inside. Sebastian Reyes, man, relentless pressure. I think he almost threw 1,000 punches in this fight. And Nakatani struggles with pressure fighters, man. He got exposed, I believe, today in this fight. You put relentless pressure on him, and if you have a unlimited gas tank, because I honestly feel like, what's up, Dragon? He says Junto's last fight, his punches was wide, easy for Inoue to knock him out. He's not ready. Shot the Dragon leg. He's not ready, man, for Naoya Inoue. I honestly feel like this boy gonna get hurt. He was one-eye Willie in there, man. He lost vision in one eye pretty much, from swelling. Hopefully they icing it and his vision will return to 100% soon. But this guy, man, he's not ready, man. My humble opinion is Nakatani got a gift. Some people could probably say it was a draw or whatever, but we can clearly see that the setup for the Inoue fight, and they don't want to make the same mistake that they have made in previous fights, whereas they have a big fight lined up and they don't want nothing to mess up the bag. We seen what Ryan get his ass whooped by Rolly when he was supposed to rematch Devin, and that was on a Riyadh season card, and Ryan got his ass whooped, so the rematch couldn't take place. So, was he 100% prepared for Rolly? Was he overlooking Rolly? Was Junto Nakatani overlooking Sebastian Reyes? And did they have fucking drug testing, goddammit? Because I've watched a lot of fights, man. And there's usually a decline as the rounds go on, Maybe somebody is still applying pressure and doing what they're doing and sticking to the game plan. But to be at the same relentless motor the whole way through and not slow down, that's suspect to me, man. So, hopefully Junto Nakatani's team had, was smart, did smart business. There's doping agencies out there to protect athletes from really getting hurt. Because if Sebastian Reyes was not drug tested, oh well, you fucked up on that. And your eye is paying the price. So I recommend have some drug testing in the next fight if you didn't have it for this fight. And I recommend you duck Naoya Inoue. I don't want to really get into Naoya Inoue's fight. I did watch that, but I want to do that for a separate video because I ain't got too much time. But I just think it's another overrated fighter. Another boxer in the sport that many of the big investors, quote unquote, have high interest in, but they're not really the goods, or they're not really as great as media might hype them up to be. And that's how I feel about Nakatani. He's a good young talent. He's okay, man. He's all right to me, man. And I hate to be critical, super critical, because I've watched some greats, man. in the sport. And for me to consider him a great fighter, I just think he got a long way to go. He got a long way to go. And you're not going to get considered a great fighter, you know, if your defense is trash. You know, if you cannot, I mean, he was able to, in the late rounds, avoid some of them shots, but a lot of them shots was landing clean, man. You know, he don't know how to clinch. You know, he just yeah, man. He got picked. He was getting beat up, man. Junto Nakatani was getting beat up. Junso leaves himself wide open, man. Yeah, man. 7-Eleven promotions, man. It's gonna be wide open like a damn, you know what I'm saying? 24-hour gas station or some shit, man. He said them Latinos are known for popping. A lot of them popped this year, so I only recommend that they drug test these fighters, especially if they're coming out of deep Tijuana or some shit like that. You know, I know all of them ain't juicing. Hopefully not, but you know what I mean? Be safe. You know, be safe. Better to be safe. Junto needs to train in America. Yeah, man, I think he may need to get a different trainer or something because I think he definitely has a lot of potential. But you know what? And I don't want to put him in the same category of Abdullah Mason, but he kind of, I had the same vibe, well, close to the same vibe about him as I had about Mason. Yeah, you may have got the victory, you know, edged it, but man, you got a long way to go and you got a lot of potential. You know, you're not a horrible fighter, but man, this guy, yeah, man, you know, you're gonna have to get some different looks. I don't know if he had the right sparring partners leading up for this matchup. It didn't seem like it. It seemed like he didn't know what the fuck to do with that pressure. He does train in the U.S. Boxer Learner says he does train in the U.S. Trains in L.A. Well, I can't tell because there's a bunch of Mexicans in L.A. I don't know because I'm from there. So, what kind of Mexicans was you sparring, fam, to get ready for this fight? Because, you know, it don't get no more Mexican style than Sebastian Reyes right there. You know, and if you can't handle that, if you can't handle Mexican style, you're not gonna go far in the sport of boxing. Okay, just the facts. You know, Mexican style will really test the shit out of you to see if you're really elite. Like if you got good defense, because Mexican style is going to try. They don't care about defense. They care about landing their shit and seeing who can survive at the end of the fight. You know, who can sustain. You know, the least amount of damage because it ain't gonna be no head movement. It's not gonna be no slick, nothing. So I don't know what the hell they worked on in this training camp for Junto, but Nakatani, it was not a good performance, fam. It wasn't. You know, lucky that your undefeated record is still intact. Dragon said he needs that defense updated. Yeah, man. You know, like in the Matrix when you sit down in the chair and they upload some shit. You know, you select what it is, what talent, what gift you want to, you know, add to your skill set. You need to add defense, man. Sit in that chair, like them in the Matrix chair or some shit, man, and have them upload defense data, fam. You know, and definitely, if you in LA, you need to go fight nothing but essays. Get all of the Mexicans that you can spar, bro. You do not need to be in LA still sparring Filipinos and Japanese. That's gonna get you fucked up. Fighting Mexicans, fighting somebody who got Mexican style. So he says uppercuts are beautiful though. Well, man, and if I'm not mistaken, he came up in weight for this fight. And we may just be seeing that his power is not really translating that well to this fight because Sebastian didn't care about none of that shit that was landing. None of that. I didn't see him get rocked now one time. Nakatani was, he looked horrible. You know, he just looked horrible. He looked like he was uncomfortable the whole fight. Sebastian looked like, yep, regular day at the office. Nakatani is boxing antics. His Nakatani is garbage. Another eye socket broken like Donaire did to Inoue. What we said, uneven eye promotions. God damn. Yeah, man. It's been a whole lot of crooked eye shit going on, man, lately. Yeah, man. And that's why I value fighters that I don't consider you elite if you can't protect yourself. Don't they say protect yourself at all times? Junto failed to do that. We got 8 watching. Y'all hit the like button for me, man. Shout out to the ones catching the playback too. Man, protect yourself at all times, man. Hit and don't get hit. So yeah. Who recommended that? Maybe another trainer. Definitely, man. I think that was Dragon Leg. Yeah, man, get another trainer or something, bro, because his defense is ass crack. And you getting in there, if you're trying to get in there with Inoue, man, he gonna get you out of the way. Yeah, shout out to Inoue, man. Like I say, I'm gonna do a different review on him because he didn't get the stoppage, but Inoue will get you out of the way quick. John, if Nakatani is having issues sleeping, if melatonin ain't getting it done, tablets and ASMR, get in there with Inoue. You'll get some good sleep. Says Regento needs to train like a slick black fighter. Yeah, man, get with Robert Garcia, man. Robert transformed El Rayo style. You see how El Rayo fought versus Pitbull Cruz? He should have watched that. Like, man, I be having shit in my head, like, where I think, like, damn, you could have just fought like this. If you would have watched this or, but hey, whatever, man. That's his ass getting whooped in there, not mine. But I just be thinking to myself, like, what was you doing? What was y'all doing in there, man? And like I said before, they got to stop planning ahead of fights that's right in front of you because dudes is getting their ass kicked, man, doing that type stuff, man. Wild, man. Like, but anyway, man, And lately, man, when guys have bad performances, they jump into another trainer anyway nowadays and shit. As soon as they look bad, they yeah, my trainer wasn't, Nakatani came with the new style. I is the new defense. Yeah, man. I don't like that shit at all, man. I don't like it. So I'm always gonna flame somebody who went in there and got hit. Homie threw what? 890, almost 900 some punches. And I think he landed half of them shits. So that means you got hit with at least about 450 shots, man. That's not good. When you leaving out of the ring and you got hit with over 400, like the homie, the blood homie say in LA. But anyway, man, YG. But yeah, 400 punches, man. And on your eye? And that's the thing about it, When your opponent sees a cut, sees swelling, they're going to target it. So, yeah, man. Nakatani, man, I think that he was relieved when the fight was over. He was happy. He was relieved. And I didn't see the enthusiasm about, the next challenge. And why would you be enthused about that when you got your ass cooked? But I've seen a lot of fighters, man, when they go into new territory, when they leave their comfort zone, they struggle. So it's not like he's the only person that I've seen this happen to. I remember Anthony Joshua, came to the States for the first time, and he got beat by one of the most sloppiest, big jar of mayonnaise in Andy Ruiz, man. One of the most humiliating things. AJ had some humiliating losses, man. Let's just keep it stacked. But anyway, this is about Junto. But all the point I'm saying is that, sometimes, you get to see if you really a world champ or you just a Japan champ or just a United Kingdom champ. Because if you winning all over the world, then you stamped. Because there's some fighters I can name right now that is won in multiple soils, family. Cross different borders and been about that same action, man. Whooping that ass. Built to ass promotions. Boxing Instance Hernandez got robbed. Yeah, man, I'm trying to see if there's going to be a lot more of those uploads of that. Like, man, Hernandez got robbed. Now, the only reason why I'm not really going really, hard body defending and saying that, he robbery and shit is just because he was throwing hella punches, man. So I'm gonna wait for that the VADA results, man. Drug testing results, because they might have had drug testing. Hopefully Riyadh season is on some act right. Rich as they is, there's no excuse to not have drug testing, man. Something. So I'm gonna wait a little while, before I get on the robbery shit, because Junto Nakatani got his eye robbed by the juicer. Juicy Fruit Hernandez, if that's the case. Because homie was motherfucking throwing hella shots. If y'all watch that shit, nigga was not slowing down. I was like, oh, come on, cuz. This is some different shit, bro. This ain't. It just looked pretty analog, you know what I mean? Anabolic type. Feel me? You feel me? Everyone seen the fight and who won. They gave it to Naka. They really pushing anyway. Nakai. Nakai, man. Yeah, Nakai got a gift, man. But it's Christmas season, holiday spirit and shit. So they wanted to make sure he's, keep his intact. You know what I mean? So he's still undefeated. Shout out to him. You could tell when they juicing. Yeah, I didn't get the close up on the back because, sometimes we having back knee and shit. So I don't know. But it looked hella suspect. That's all I'm saying. So I'm not, allegedly. I don't know if he was really juiced or not. But that shit look, hey, I'm just saying. Anybody can see that Nakatani lost the fight, and anybody can see that homie was throwing hella shots, bro. Hella punches, man. I said, God damn. And he was getting hit with shit too. It was some shots that Nakatani was sitting down on, and dude was just like, yeah, whatever. Fuck that shit, man. Fuck that shit, Holmes. Poop, 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 poop. Yeah, man. You better get used to that essay work. These niggas will fuck you up if you're not ready for that. If you're not used to that, because Japanese dudes don't be fighting like that, that Mexican style. So he probably not even seeing that type of work out there. Some nigga on straight demon time, just bull rushing you. Like, you know what I mean? Rushing you like you just from another, another set or whatever. But yeah, man, that shit was horrible, bro. I mean, and I don't never talk really, I'm not a fan of talking down big fights. But to me, that fight ain't really that big. I mean, of course, out there in Japan, they put out there that shit is probably the biggest fight ever out there. And, China, Japan, Korea, put it anywhere out there, Beijing. But as far as real boxing fans, we just like, nah, this he's not ready, bro. We know what's gonna happen. I like the fights to where it's just some mystery there. You really don't quite know what's gonna happen. But I can pretty much predict what's gonna happen. Stoppage. That's all I see in Nakatani's future if he jumps in the ring with anyway. But maybe there's an offer that he cannot refuse. And shout out to him, man. Get your money, but you're gonna get fucked up. That's all I'm gonna say. You're gonna get fucked up if you jump in there with the monster anyway. I'm sure when Nakai got his hand raised, he went straight to hold Turkey's feet. These niggas better not be holding Turkey feet, bro. He probably got toe rings, everything, bro. That shit is weird. But yeah, man, dudes better not be doing backdoor type stuff to get on these cards, man. I know that shit. Yeah, that fight is gonna be big in Japan. Yeah, man, that's the biggest probably fight of all time out there. And Naito anyway will look spectacular in that fight. I don't see him having any trouble with Nakatani, man. And to be honest with you, this card was my first time really watching them both like live and then watching a full fight, because I'm used to just like watching like highlights on them. I've seen more highlights of Naito anyway than this Nakatani guy. I've seen a few highlights like devastating KOs that I've seen in Nakatani. I was like, oh shit, motherfucker could punch. But then this is my first time seeing him in a real fight. And in there with a guy who wasn't respecting him, man. He wasn't, man, Hernandez did not respect, man, he didn't respect his power. He didn't respect his status. He didn't respect whatever agenda that Riyadh Caesar had. He like, man, whatever, fuck that. Viva Mexico, beating his ass, man. So yeah, man. Yeah, so that fight would be big out there, but I don't recommend it. Man, this is all I got for this one, man. Shout out to everybody that caught the playback, everybody that hit the like button. If you haven't hit the like button, go ahead and do that for me, for your boy Black Horseman. And leave your thoughts below, man. Leave your thoughts below, man. Did Nakatani get away with one, man? Blackout, happy holidays, bro. Good seeing you, family. Did he get away with one? You know, and do you still at this point want to see him jump in there with Nayo anyway? Because I mean, you know, maybe it's still a big fight, but do we got to see it right now? Like, maybe he might need another fight, man. I think he needs another fight. But maybe everything is pretty much lined up, man. That's what I say. Once they do this shit, pre-plan another fight ahead, it's always some shit. It's always some one fighter get their ass whooped and mess up the bag, and then they got to do this, you know, cheating shit or gifting a fighter who didn't really win the fight, and then they in there with a. I mean, the motherfucker get his hand raised and his eye is. The nigga had a fucking water balloon on his eye, man. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, come on, man. Big ass fat keloid on the side of his face, man. So it's just like, nah, bro. Nobody's convinced you won that fight. Peanut, what up? He needs another tune up. He needs, I wouldn't say tune up. He needs another fight, but I wouldn't say tune up. You definitely don't want to take another step back, a step down. You want to definitely, for sure, get somebody that's going to prepare you for them looks anyway, going to give you in there. Because if one of the things you don't see, you can be up out of here. Haplo. Shout out to my bro Haplo up in here, man. Dragon Leg said that's true. At least Hernandez left Naka with eye with yeah, basically one eye left, man. Yeah, man. Left him with one eye left, man. So yeah, man, he didn't get the victory, but he took his eye with him. He took his vision and shit. Hey, that's all I got. Um, Hopefully Nakatani can correct it, because like I say, he's young, he has a lot of potential, and I want to see him get better. I want to see him get better. But like my team in the chat said, maybe he need to come to America or something, get a better trainer, because they'll definitely help you prepare for that Mexican style. I don't know what the fuck, what type of looks he's getting out there in Japan, but yeah, you might want to because Nayo anyway be having that aggressive pressure style when he mixes it up. That's what I'm gonna save a video for that. They say he been sparring a lot of Mexicans after today. That's a lie. He said hit the like for you to see if you haven't yet. Thank y'all for tuning in for this one, man. I'll catch y'all on the next video. Peace.